Hey city builders, welcome. Today we're exploring some key tips to help you get started in cities' skylines too. We'll go over some basics in city planning, budgeting, and keeping things running smoothly. Hopefully these tips help you build a city you're happy with. Let's get into it and start building. First, pre-game setup. Map selection. Choose a map based on your playstyle. Some maps will have more natural resources, oil, fertile land, or forests, while others may have challenging terrain like mountains or rivers. Traffic connectivity. Look for maps with good highway and rail connections for trade and transit. Natural disasters. Some maps may have more frequent natural disasters if playing with that enabled, so keep this in mind if you want a more relaxed or challenging experience. Second, the first steps, city layout and planning. Initial road layout. Start with basic roads that connect your city to highways and key zones. Avoid using wide roads initially, as they are expensive and unnecessary for a small population. Arterial roads are major roads that connect neighborhoods, industrial areas, and downtown districts, while collector roads are secondary roads that link residential and commercial areas. Local roads are smaller roads within neighborhoods. Plan ahead for expansion. Create main roads that leave space for future upgrades or larger districts. A grid system is effective for efficient traffic flow, but mixing grids with curved roads can create a more natural city appearance. Zoning space. Leave space for zoning residential, commercial, and industrial districts with sufficient distance from one another. Zoning basics. Zoning is the core of city planning. Residential zones. Low and high density. Place these zones away from industrial zones to keep citizens happy and prevent pollution. Low-density residential are more suitable for suburbs and smaller neighborhoods, while high-density residential are more frequent in downtown areas where you want taller buildings and more population density. Commercial zones, low and high density. Keep commercial zones near residential areas to provide easy access to shops. High-density commercial zones should be in the city center, while low-density commercial works well in suburban areas. Industrial zones. Place these zones near highways to ensure smooth traffic flow for imports and exports. Keep them far from residential zones to reduce pollution complaints. Before placing industrial zones, check the wind direction map, which shows air currents and the predominant wind direction, helping you understand where the pollution from factories and industries will disperse. Ideally, place your industrial zones downwind from residential areas, meaning in the direction the wind blows away from the city. This way, pollution from factories and industrial activities will be carried out of the city, minimizing its impact on populated areas. Use natural barriers like rivers, hills, or mountains to block or limit the spread of pollution. These features can act as shields, reducing the amount of pollution that reaches residential areas. Additionally, forests and green spaces can serve as buffers to mitigate air pollution. Creating buffer zones, such as parks or green areas, between industrial and residential zones can also help minimize the impact of air and noise pollution. Trees, in particular, help absorb air pollution and reduce its spread toward populated areas. Essential services: power, water, and garbage. Power supply. In the beginning, choose between wind turbines, coal power plants, or solar panels, depending on your budget and environmental concerns. Wind turbines are ideal for eco-friendly cities. Place them in windy areas for maximum output. Coal power plants are cheap but create pollution. Place these away from residential zones. Solar power, more expensive but sustainable. A good long-term option: power grids. Use power lines to connect power plants to zoned areas. Later, your buildings will transfer power without needing as many lines. Water and sewage. Water pumps. Place water pumps near clean water sources such as rivers or lakes, or use water towers. Sewage outlets. Place sewage pipes downstream or far away from water pumps to avoid contaminating your water supply, or use water treatment plant. Water pipes. Lay out water pipes underneath your roads to connect water and sewage systems to your zoned areas. Garbage disposal. Landfills. Initially, you'll rely on landfills to manage waste, but they can fill up quickly and create pollution. Keep them far from residential zones. Recycling centers. These help reduce waste and pollution but are more expensive to run. Incineration plants. As your city grows, these plants become useful for turning waste into energy but can be costly. City services. Healthcare, education, and safety. Healthcare. Ensure you place clinics early on in residential areas to maintain health levels. As your population grows, add hospitals and elder care facilities. Eventually, your city will need cemeteries to handle deceased citizens. Build cemeteries or crematoriums in accessible locations. Education, elementary schools. Build these in early residential neighborhoods to educate your citizens. High schools and universities. These are necessary as your population grows. Place them strategically to avoid long commute times for students. Libraries. Add libraries to boost citizen education and increase happiness. Fire, police, and disaster services. Fire departments prevent fires by placing firehouses and larger fire stations near residential, commercial, and industrial areas. Police stations keep crime in check by placing them strategically throughout the city. Crime rises in areas with poverty, so monitor your city's economy. Disaster preparedness. Use emergency shelters, fire watch towers, and evacuation routes if natural disasters are enabled. Budget and taxation. Managing the budget. Tax rates. Adjust your tax rates to manage income, but avoid going too high, above 12%, as it can make citizens unhappy. Service budgets. Adjust budgets for healthcare, education, and transport services based on city needs. Increasing the budget improves service efficiency but drains more income. Economy and industry. Specialized industries. As you unlock more resources, you can specialize your industrial zones into forestry, farming, oil, or ore extraction. These industries can greatly increase city income. Trade. Exporting goods from specialized industries brings extra revenue. Ensure your city has good highway or rail connections for smooth trade operations. Beautification and Parks. Increase citizen happiness by placing parks and plazas. They also help boost land value, which is crucial for high-density development. As your city grows, build unique landmarks to attract tourists and increase city prestige. Long-term growth and challenges. Tourism. Build hotels, landmarks, and airports to attract tourists. Tourism helps generate revenue and enhances your city's reputation. Late-game optimization. Build hubs that combine buses, trams, and subways to create an integrated transport system. Also, encourage skyscrapers and high-density zones as your city expands. Keep services like police, fire, and healthcare adequately scaled to your population. Final tips. Balance growth with services. Always balance population growth with essential services, education, healthcare, police, and so on. Monitor traffic and pollution. Traffic and pollution issues often arise as cities grow. Address them early through road upgrades, zoning changes, and public transport. Revise and adjust. Be flexible and adjust your city layout and services based on the changing needs of your citizens. By following this short guide, I think you'll have all the knowledge you need to plan, build, and expand a thriving city and city skylines too. And that's it for today's video. I hope these tips help you kickstart your city building journey and create an efficient, thriving metropolis. Remember, it's all about balancing your budget, planning smart layouts, and adapting as your city grows. Certainly, you can enable the unlimited money option, which lets you concentrate entirely on designing and expanding your city's architecture without the stress of balancing a budget. This way, you can bring your creative vision to life with no financial limits. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more tips, walkthroughs, and game guides. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if there's a specific topic you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching and happy building.